All right, ready to roll here on a Saturday morning. Thanks to our friends at Insperity. Visit Insperity.com for powerful HR solutions with exceptional fall through. Major motion picture weekend ahead of us at Vedanta Vallarta, where Aldrich Pot Jeter leads the way at 16 under 65-61 to start the week there at Vedanta Vallarta. Charlie, you've been to this neck of the woods quite often.
How
You've
did you pronounce that guy's name?
Pot Jeter.
Pod Geeter.
I'm getting there, Charlie. But I've said Pod Jeter. I started, I was following the DP World Tour this past fall, and this is where this guy started to make a name for himself. Aldrich Pot Jeter. He is a Corn Ferry Tour graduate who had really an incredible year last year. He played very well at the beginning of the Corn Ferry Tour season last year. Won in the Bahamas, and then really didn't make a cut the rest of the year on the Corn Ferry Tour, but the win was enough to get his PGA Tour card. And at a course like Vedanta, where you can close your eyes and hit it, 3 miles, he's really thriving around this golf course.
Who's going to win first? This dude or I just my mind just went.
Got a couple long hitting rookies: Pot Geeter, Michael Thorby Olson, Carl Phillips, who just signed with Sunday Red Tigers Company, Ricky Castillo, another young bomber. Were you thinking of Oberg just got his second win? We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
No, I'm thinking about our man up in Dallas.
Oh, let's see. Who is it? He just came out.
How
Pearson and Parker Cootie from Plano.
no.
Who else is from
He
Dallas?
won the
Matt
Masters.
Spieth.
Spieth.
Is Pot Geeter gonna?
Is he a thing of the past now with all these young guys coming out and hitting it the way they do and they're winning?
Yeah, well, Spieth just came back from the wrist surgery. Charlie, he finished fourth in Phoenix and then missed the cut last week at the Genesis. I think still getting over that surgery. I think he will be back, Charlie. Remember, only one more major from the Grand Slam for Spieth. You like the way Quail Hollow sets up for Spieth's game? What are his chances as far as winning the Grand Slam this year? He only needs the PGA.
I don't think he can win there.
Yeah, yeah,
That's Justin's
yeah,
territory. He won the
yeah. Instead,
PGA there.
2017. The big glare with Spieth right now is, you know, before he had surgery and after. You look at his last 7 events, he's lost strokes with the putter to the field in 6 of those, 6 of the last 7, Charlie. The putter was a massive weapon for him early on.
Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible. But these young guys are coming, and you watch them putt. The Puerto Vallarta is an incredible spot to play golf.
Yeah.
It's
You've
this
been there
time,
quite a bit.
yeah. The weather down there is just supreme, and the golf courses now are they're they're really well manicured. And so they're shooting the lights out. They're making more 20-footers than I've seen in a year, let alone a week.
It's you look at the top 5 names on the leaderboard. Pot Geeter opened 65-61. Jaeger, he was the Houston Open winner. Steven Jaeger, he opened 66-64. He'll start 4 shots back. Akshay Bhatia, the tournament favorite, he's back up there in a tie for 5th at 10 under, 6 shots back of the lead going into the weekend. So we'll get to the leaderboard there at Vedanta. Charlie, you're coming off a great STPGA meeting there in College Station this week. Is that right?
Yes. We had our annual meeting up at College Station, and number one, I was really impressed with the campus. I haven't been up there for quite a while. My daughter graduated from there, and I enjoy Aggie Land and all what it's about. But the hotel was almost inside the stadium, and it was just a great atmosphere. We had a lot of great, people come and talk to us. We had a Navy SEAL. Man, this guy is just incredible. I mean, his way of handling himself, and he told us the stories about being a SEAL and what they have to go through, and it's almost like a torture
Wow.
deal. I mean, it's incredible. But we had a good time. We got the year planned. My tournament for my scholarship fund is already on the table, and so it's going to be in September. But the Southern Texas PGA's got a big you know goal in mind as far as promoting the game of golf and with the kids junior program. So I can't wait. You know, this Michigan weather that we're going through here is driving me nuts.
Yeah, 3 days in a row. There, brutal
Oh
temperatures. No
man,
golf. No golf the last 3 days in Houston.
you can't even go outside.
No, you can't. But the good news is, by the time your tournament gets here in September, weather's going to be back pure again. Is back at Golf Club of Houston this year, Charlie?
Golf Club of Houston, yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fourth year in a row.
Yeah.
Incredible. You've done. It's amazing. I mean, the students that you've put through college golf programs. I mean, that's probably the best scholarship as far as those who want to play at the next level in college and university.
Yeah, we're having a good time, and they're all good kids. They're getting a good education. They're all over Pennsylvania. Like a girl at Penn. It's just wonderful to see these kids do good things and conscientious, and so it's fun to gather money and give it to people that really can use it.
That's great stuff, Charlie. As we talked about in the opener, 20-year-old Aldrich Potgieter is your leader at the Mexican Open through 36 holes after posting rounds of 65, 61. Yesterday, he became the fourth youngest player to shoot 61 or better in a PGA Tour event, and this is a big-hitting rookie. Great putter, by the way. Hits it a mile off the tee. His approach numbers and his chipping numbers can be a little suspect. A little chipping lesson from you, Charlie, would not hurt him at all. But he's from South Africa, leads by 4 at 16 under over last year's Houston Open winner, Steven Jaeger. It is Potgieter's first 36-hole lead in his 10th start on tour. Another great finish ahead as NBC takes the reins on the coverage today and tomorrow. And Charlie, CBS has done massive numbers. Your friend Jim Nance and Trevor Immelman have done a great job the last 3 weeks as far as pro golf. You had Rory McIlroy's victory at Pebble Beach that did over $3 million on Sunday. Thomas Dietrich's win in Phoenix did great numbers on Sunday, and Ludwig Berg's comeback victory at Torrey Pine South did very well in the ratings last Sunday.
You know what helps the ratings? 20-degree weather.
Yeah, around the country.
Nobody's out playing.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the map in the morning and it's all blue because of the chill that's going on. So, but it's great to see that golf is, it's entertainment.
Yeah,
it's good.
I think last year you hit the nail on the head. There was a bit of a time where the ratings had dropped last year, and you simply said, look, more people are playing golf since COVID.
Yeah.
More people have picked up the game, and I think that's why you're seeing maybe a few less people watch the golf when the weather is good around the country. And Charlie, I don't have any update as far as what's happening with PGA Tour and Live, and obviously they had some meetings with the president this week, but I would say the 2025 PGA Tour season, is off to a very healthy start.
Yes, but I keep hearing that everybody's going to say, okay, we were wrong, but they're all going to get together. And so they're going to start playing together. Everybody wants to have the great players. They're shrinking the PGA Tour, which I'm not too excited about.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, 70 players or 60 players.
That's not a real field.
No
Monday qualifiers, Charlie.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
and you got to have a cut at the halfway point of these tournaments.
Yes.
The cut lot. Tiger, Arnold Palmer, and Jack Nicklaus are the only tournament hosts who host signature events that decided to keep a cut.
Yeah.
And I think it's fantastic entertainment for the halfway point. Another, a big thing that you have to look at, a very positive note in the game through 7 weeks, is you've had 7 different countries represented by winners, Charlie.
Yeah.
Hideki Matsuyama from Japan kicked it off with the win at the Century. Nick Taylor won the Sony. He's from Canada. Sepp Straka won the Amex. He's from Austria. Harris English is your only American winner thus far. You had Rory, and Harris won that first time around Torrey at the Farmers. You had Rory representing Northern Ireland en route to that victory at Pebble Thomas Dietrich became the first man from Belgium to win on the PGA Tour there in Phoenix. You had the Swedish superstar and Ludvig Oberg get his second career win at the Genesis last week, which we'll get to in the second segment. But Charlie, you've had a major global presence through 7 weeks.
Well, the victory by Rory McIlroy at Augusta at
Pebble.
Pebble was really a sign of things to come. I
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah.
Like you say, we want to see somebody win the Grand Slam. He's got a chance to do that,
Yeah.
along with a couple other guys. So,
He comes off the win at Pebble, Rory, and goes into last week at Torrey Pines South for the Genesis, and on paper has one of his worst putting events of his career. We've seen that happen to Rory in between his successes. When you have 4 rounds like that, well, first off, what do you see in Rory's putting that creates such massive ebbs and flows?
well, his full swing is long and it's big, and he hits it 8 miles. Well, his putting stroke resembles his full swing. His putting stroke, to my eyes, gets too long, too cumbersome. It doesn't quite, keep it the same. Nicholas had a short, little effective stroke from 10 to 12 feet. And that's all you got to do. I mean, he hits it inside 10 feet so often, but he misses it too often.
Yeah.
So I think he's got to, quiet that backswing and make it a little shorter, make it a little more through the ball with the stroke.
And how can the listener at home, based on distance, how do you judge how far you're taking the putter back?
Well, the speed of the greens is not number one, and you got to work on that. I mean, a stroke today is shorter, and with the heavy putters and all, you got to respect the mass times velocity square, and you take a putter and it's big and bulky, and you put it at a little longer backswing, the ball's going to go too far.
Yeah.
So they got to work on a little more quieter, effective swing. Like Ben Crenshaw have.
Yeah.
It was smoother, and he didn't. He just touched the ball
Yeah.
and drop it in the front side. So he spins a lot of balls out too hard.
Yeah, Patrick Rogers was someone who was in contention last week at Torrey South for the Genesis. He's at 7 under in a tie for 18th going to the weekend in Mexico. One of the commentators, Brad Faxon, was saying that Patrick Rogers has a putter in his bag that feels like a 20-pound weight.
Uh-huh.
Very heavy. What's the purpose of that?
Just make it just a practice tool.
Okay.
Try to get a little more feel, make it a little shorter stroke. There's some science behind
Yeah.
it. I'm not sure. I haven't heard yet.
Okay. Let's go through where the favorites are at. Where the favorites to start the week. Where are they now as far as the Mexico Open? Akshay Bhatia opened this week as a 14-1. You know what? Actually, we're gonna have to take a quick break. We'll go through where the favorites are at the Mexico Open at Vedanta World right after this break. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour presented by Insperity. Back after this.
This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
Powered by Insperity.
Now from the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Will Doctor and the golf doctor himself, Charlie Epps.
All right, superstar prodigy from South Africa, Aldrich Potgieter leads the way at the Mexico Open. He opened 65-61. Potgieter, stellar junior career, won the Junior Invitational at Sage Valley, turned pro at 19 years old, won in his first year on the Korn Ferry Tour last year at 20. Had played some solid golf on the DP World Tour over the fall, finished second at the Nedbank there in his home country of South Africa, and now is a 4-shot lead heading into the weekend there at Vedanta World. Looking at, and we're going to get to the review on Ludwig Berg's win last week at the Farmers here in just a sec. I want to get Charlie's opinion on his golf swing and the way he managed his emotions and how long he waited to get his second win. Charlie, I know you're a good friend, Angel Cabrera. There was a 2-year gap in between his first and second win on the PGA Tour, which I want to get to in a second. Real quick, looking at how the favorites are stacking up in Mexico, Akshay Bhatia was the tournament favorite this week, Charlie. He's tied for fourth after rounds of 66-66. I think he was the deserving favorite with the way he played in California. He's a 2-time PGA Tour winner. Once again, another guy under 23 years old, Charlie, just dominating with the long drives off the tee. And he's got the long putter, the broomstick going, Charlie. Did you hear Colin Morikawa's comments on the broomstick putter last week?
I did not, but the guy we're talking about, Akshay,
yeah,
he's been a pro since he's 17.
Yeah.
And the game is moving so young. Look at this kid that just shot 61 yesterday. There's no fear, and they haven't had any bad things happen to him on the golf course yet, like Jordan Spieth has, as far as injuries and
scar tissue.
Big time scar tissue. So the leaderboard changes quickly in this game.
Charlie, you got another 17-year-old up there, 17-year-old Blades Brown.
How about that?
Who just turned pro, decided he's going to skip college. 68-69, made a birdie putt on the par 5 18th to make the cut by one. Yeah, by one, actually.
The only thing that worries me is injuries.
Yeah.
See, Jordan Spieth, they played a lot of golf when they were 12, 13, 14. Then we start having these injuries, and this is going to happen to this kid too. He's too young. He's going to over practice, and he belongs in school.
How much emphasis do you put on going to college for just at least a year to tackle, that level of competition? I know you can play amateur golf in high school and all that, but is there something to be? Tiger went to school for 1 year. Jordan Spieth went to college for a year. Scheffler for a couple. Scheffler might have finished out for 4 years. I'd have to check on that.
No, he finished out.
He finished out?
Yeah. But, I think it's a matter of letting your body mature. You start, playing 3,000 holes a year and over practicing, and your body breaks down early on, and they got to be careful.
Especially with the swing speeds now.
Yeah.
And how much pressure is being put on that spine. I mean.
Yeah.
Holy
and
cow.
then, one bad shot and you hit it incorrectly, and look at Jordan Spieth and that wrist.
Yeah. So Bhatia tied for fourth, 6 shots back, still in this tournament though. Rasmus Højgaard was the second favorite at 20-1. He's in a tie for 18th at 7 under. Kurt Kitayama won the Arnold Palmer Invitational a few years ago. He was the third favorite. He missed the cut. Sam Stevens, someone we're keeping a close eye on. I think he's going to win here on tour very soon. He missed the cut as well. He was the fourth favorite. Patrick Rogers was the fifth favorite. He's in a tie for 18th at 7 under. Michael Kim was the fifth favorite there at 28-1. He's in a tie for 29th at 6 under. Another guy playing very well. We haven't seen Michael Kim in a while. He won the 2018 John Deere. Probably going to win here very soon. And then Steven Yeager, the sixth favorite on the odds boards at 30-1. He's in solo second at 12 under, and he won his first PGA Tour event here at the Houston Open last year. Played some good golf in the fall, and Vedanta Vallarta is an excellent course fit. He's played in the Mexico Open 3 times and has recorded top 10 finishes in each. let's hear from Yeager on how much he likes this golf course.
Yeah. It's always nice to come back to a golf course that you've played well and you have some good history on. And I like this place. I like this golf course. I like the way it plays. Those greens get a little firm on the weekend, which is nice. And but you still have some room off the tee, and you've got to be hitting shorter clubs. And distance, I feel like on this golf course is a huge advantage. You're going to be able to hit 20, 30 yards less in, and that really makes a difference for the weekend.
Did you get all that, Charlie? As far as what Steven Yeager was saying?
I did.
Okay.
I was talking while he was talking.
So Yeager, 66, 64, won the Houston Open. Did you get a chance to watch him here at Memorial Park?
I did not. I don't know who the guy is.
Yeah, no, good player. Won 5 times on the Korn Ferry Tour in his early 30s, and came out on tour a couple years ago and finally got the job done in Houston. Hits it a long way. Only 5'9", but averaging 5 yards longer off the tee than Pot Geeter. So a lot in the tank there. It's kind of like your boy Alejandro Tosti.
Yeah.
Well, he's 5'9", 5'10", hits it a mile.
Sneaky long.
Yeah. And Toasty, I mean, what a last 5 months. Had to go back to PGA Tour Q School where he finished top 5 and re-earned his card. So
yeah, he's an interesting kid. I got to spend some time with him when I was in Argentina, and he comes from a family of engineers, and but he knows what he's doing with the golf club. He went to Florida. He learned how to play American golf at the University of Florida, and did quite well. Won a few collegiate tournaments, and then he put together a Vespa.
Really?
Yeah, because he couldn't afford a car.
Put together his own little motorcycle there?
Yeah, motor scooter.
Not a Harley.
Vespa, not a red one though. And so interesting kid. And this whole lineup today down in Mexico, there's very few people that I know. Which is kind of interesting, but it could be because I'm getting old and gray and should probably stay home.
Well, you got Molinari up there, Charlie.
Yeah,
Francisco Molinari.
Yeah.
Playing well. Padraig Harrington and Molinari is at 8 under and tied for 11th after opening 66, 68. Your guy Padraig Harrington made the trip down to Mexico.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
he's playing 24 tournaments a year, and he goes from the Champions Tour, the regular tour, whatever he can get on. He just loves to play golf.
Yeah. He came over here from the UK and made a stop in Canada, Charlie, where it's freezing.
Yes.
And then flew down to Mexico. His bags did not make it down from Canada until Wednesday. But no, he's posting on social media after every round. He's constantly in the search for perfection, and actually has his own, kind of teaching channel now where he's, sharing his insights on the game. But one of the real grinders in the world of golf.
Real grinders.
Let's talk about Ludwig Berg's second win last week at Torrey Pines House. Charlie, I sent you a video of his swing.
Yes.
And I mean, to me, it's something that looks like it's made in a factory. It is perfection. What are your thoughts on it?
It's interesting. You think it's made in a you think it's too structured?
No. I was saying that in a very positive way. I was saying if you created a factory where you built golf swings and you wanted perfection, you would arrive at Ludwig Berg. What do you think of that?
Well, you'd have to have everybody would have to be the same height. It's he's got some great fundamentals. I'd love to talk to the coach up at Texas Tech on how he recruited him and how he got him in. But he's shown that. But I think that the key word that he said to me, and I was listening to his interviews, is laughter. You got to have some laughter on the golf course. See, Jordan Spieth doesn't have any laughter. This kid hits a bad shot, he laughs. That's a special little, quirk in his, so because golf is a game of you're going to hit bad shots at the wrong time, and that's going to piss you off.
Yeah.
And the guy, like Nicholas said, don't make it more important than it really is. But his golf swing matches his height, and he has an extremely good work through the golf ball. His grip seems very fundamentally sound, and so he really can move the golf ball any different direction, and he doesn't take it seriously.
So for those that are on the golf course and there you have your amateurs out there who even in the moment cannot kind of leave a bad shot behind them. I know you don't struggle with that, Charlie, but for those that do,
Well, I did.
really,
I was
I've never seen you get pissed off
no,
after a
well,
bad
but
shot.
this is when I'm 80 years old. When I was 20, I was a hothead. I couldn't handle a bad shot. My daughter Mimi, you wouldn't know how she's playing, and she was calm, cool, and collected, and she was under control with the game of golf, and that's what. Don't let a bad shot screw up your day.
You spent a lot of time around Dr. Bob
Yes,
Rotella.
yes. Bob Rotella is the first really great sports psychologist that got into teaching a lot of golf psychology, and it was very simple. Just show me how good you can play. He hit a bad shot. Well, it make the next one even better. He got it down to a simple formula. And that's what's simple golf. We got to play simple golf. That's what Jackie Burke would say. He was it's just put the ball in the hole.
Berg played his final 6 holes in 4 under par, birdied 13, 14, 15, and 18 there at Torrey Pines South to beat out Maverick McNeely by 1 shot. McNeely had the low round going there on Sunday, shot a 64, but McNeely was 9 under through his first 13 holes. And McNeely, I mean, he's flying himself to golf tournaments a la Arnold Palmer, Charlie.
Yeah.
Smart guy, went to Stanford. I think maybe one day could be the commissioner of the PGA Tour with some of his ideas. I think he, if they gave him the reins to the PGA Tour, he'd put this tour in the right direction.
Well, I know he put the numbers together to why they're reducing the size of the field. But interesting kid, you're right. He's a pilot.
He is. Well, Mr. Palmer flew himself around for a long time.
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
he, Charlie?
Sure.
It might as well. I mean, with the way these with the aviation business right now and all the mishaps going on as far as the airlines are concerned.
Isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I got to get on a flight here in a couple weeks, and I'm not too thrilled about it, quite frankly.
Where are you
Charlie.
going?
I'm going in 4 weeks. I'm going up to Big Sky for a couple days.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to take down that mountain on some skis.
Are you really?
Yeah. But I got to get there on a plane first, Charlie, That's scary right now.
Be careful.
Yeah. More on Oberg, the West Coast swing, was really interesting for Oberg. He finished 5th in the opener at Kapalua. He had the first round lead 2 weeks later at the Farmers before he fell ill, which, crushed his game for the rest of the week at Farmers. And then he had to withdraw from Pebble Beach the next week. Oberg left Pebble on Friday, couldn't get out of bed until Tuesday, couldn't work out until Thursday. And, he got his game together. And what he said was a tough week of preparation, and went out and won his 3rd signature event at the Genesis Invitational. Here was Oberg on that long wait for that second win last week at Torrey South.
Oh, absolutely! It felt like a lifetime. Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, it is hard winning on the PGA Tour. We're the best; they're the best players in the world, and anytime you have the opportunity to win, it's a cool feeling to try to win a golf tournament coming down the last couple holes. And today I executed the shots. I made a couple of putts, and that was the difference. But it just sort of it's very reassuring to know that I can sort of go from where I was a couple of weeks ago to winning a tournament in sort of a quick turnaround.
And it's very evident he can handle bad weather.
Yeah.
Coming from Sweden, practicing in the snow and in the cold and all that. That was to his advantage. But yeah, he's a very impressive young man.
We're going to talk more about it on the other side. We get to take a quick break. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour presented by Insperity. Back after this.
The Charlie Epps Golf Hour, powered by Insperity, continues
on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
from the Veritex Community Bank Studios. Here's Will Doctor and Charlie Epps.
We heard from Ludvigo Berg before the break talking about his second win last week at the Genesis Invitational. Nice to have you aboard. Charlie, quick question before we move along, put a bow on what happened at the Genesis. You know, it took Jordan Spieth over a year to get his second win on the PGA Tour. You know, at the 2015 Valspar. It was nearly 2 years after his first win at the 2013 John Deere. You know, it took Tiger 2 years to win his second major championship at the 99 PGA at Medina. And there was a 2-year gap for your guy, Angel Cabrera, in between the 2007 U.S. Open and the 2009 Masters. Do you remember, you know, between 2007 and 2009 being with Angel and going, you know, when is this second win going to come?
You know, you really don't worry about that. You do know that it's very hard to win on the PGA Tour. And so you really just kind of bide your time and don't put your pressure on it. But sometimes, you know, there's guys that Billy Andre, you know, he won back-to-back tournaments. So there's no really secret formula on how to win after you win. But victory is a hard commodity. And So, take Jordan Spieth. I think he's just putting too much pressure on his game. Relax, relax. You've already got $17 trillion in the bank, and enjoy it. And Rory McIlroy, who's really, if he doesn't win the British Open this year
At Port Rush.
and to be a star in his own country, uh, that he wants that,
Yeah.
and I hope he gets that. He deserves, that. But last time it was played there, who won?
Shane Lowry.
Shane.
Yeah,
He's still,
2019.
so, and he hasn't won since.
No,
And he's a good player.
great player.
So
Playing some fantastic golf right
yeah,
now.
but victory is very elusive.
Yeah.
And once you get it, it's kind of like, I've never won on the PGA Tour, so I really.
But you finished second though.
But
In
yeah,
a 2-ball PGA Tour event,
Yeah.
what's now referred to as the Zurich Classic.
Yeah.
You came in second there,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
played in 6 majors, Charlie.
yeah. But still,
So you've been there in the big moment.
I've been there, done that. I'm sorry, I'm kind of acting goofy. I think with this, I got some special nose spray because of I had to go to the doctor, and with this screwed up Michigan weather we have here.
Yeah, well, I was telling you on the break, when it goes from 80 degrees to
Yeah.
35 degrees in a matter of 3 days, you're going to have some of that,
The only thing this weather
discombobulation in the
does
nose.
to me, I'm glad I'm not living in Michigan.
Yeah, no, that's a disaster. You see what happened in Detroit this week with the pipes bursting in the middle of the city. The whole place is underwater and frozen. It's a disaster. But good news, Charlie. We got some questions for you.
Okay,
All right.
let's go.
Now, I've got. You already talked about the strength in Ludwig Oberg being able to laugh and to get past the bad golf shot. He talked a ton about focusing on his breathing and not rushing his pace
Yep.
down the stretch of a tournament. How focused are you around that subject with your average student?
Well, there's certain people that need to really get their emotions in control, and I said you can't be good when you're not fundamentally sound. And fundamentally sound means a good grip and a good stance, and being able to repeat your swing time and time again, so you can get some rhythm and control of your emotions in golf. But you got to have practice time, and I think the people going into the spring now, they're starting to learn the value of a practice session, the value of taking good lessons from good golf professionals, the ladies and gentlemen of the PGA Tour that are we they go to clinics and they learn how to teach, and the game's it's being well taught. It's fun to see.
We got a question from Carl. Charlie, I watched Steven Yeager last year win the Houston Open in person. I noticed he lifts his left heel off the ground when he takes the club away, particularly with the driver. And he also sees Yeager release his back foot off the ground post-impact with the driver. Is there anything I can take away from that?
Well, yeah, golf is a game of using your body effectively, and Nicklaus does this as he swings the club back. That left foot comes off the ground to get the left knee behind the ball, to let his right hip turn behind and really get in a hitting position. And then you replace you put the left foot back on the ground, and you pivot off of that point, which is in front of the ball, and you turn through the ball aggressively. So good footwork is incredibly important in a good golf swing.
It's interesting watching Scheffler,
Yes.
world number 1 Scotty Scheffler,
Yeah.
go about his footwork with the driver.
Yeah, and his feet move usually after he's hit the ball. So he's got a great stance. He's got a great position of the golf ball every time, and he really works on his grip and making sure that the club is in his hands correctly. I think that's probably one of the most important things that he does. Is his grip is paramount for his success.
All right, here's Ryan. Charlie, I'm trying to complete my turn in my backswing, and I'm. He says, I'm releasing my head on the way back to try to complete my turn. Do you recommend this? I think what he's trying to say, Charlie, is that he's turning his head, back to the right to try to complete that backswing.
And that's good. I think that a lot of people get themselves in trouble when in the old days, you got to keep your head down, you kind of keep it still. Well, you put yourself in a kind of a frozen position. The head has to give as you swing the club back to let that left shoulder get underneath the chin. And depending if your eye, which eye is your dominant eye, Nicholas's left eye is his dominant eye, so he'd move the head before the swing started. So there's a lot to be said for having that upper body nice and relaxed, so the shoulders can turn underneath the chin, and then they can move with the pressure of the swing going forward and around. And you see a lot of, like, Annika Sorenstam, her head is really moved already out of position, not looking at the ball, she's looking at her target.
Yeah.
And that's really important. You got to be in your target.
Yeah.
You got to visualize that target, but you let your head do what it wants to do.
And how do you release that head going back without swaying off the golf ball?
Yeah, well, here again, your lower body is in place when you have a stance. It's static. You're comfortable and you're balanced. And as the swing begins, everything starts falling in a sequence of motion. And you don't. It's not a. You don't stand dead still. You have to have movement of the foot, knee, thigh, and that really gets your body to be able to, when you call on your arms to accelerate the club at 90 100 miles an hour. You can't do it all tensed up. You got to be relaxed and really swing through the ball and let the momentum take your body and finish in a proper position.
Charlie, great work as far as the questions are concerned. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back with Insperity on the other side, and we'll also hear some more from your leader at the Mexico Open, some sound from Aldrich Potch-Jeter after that third round 61. We'll be back after this. This is Charlie Epps Golf Options by Insperity. Back after this. Jeez.
You're listening to the Charlie Epps Golf Hour on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
Powered by Insperity.
From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Will Doctor and the Golf Doctor himself, Charlie Epps.
All right, Charlie, before we keep going on the golf, we have business owners who need much better HR consulting. Where should they go to find us?
Well, in a very short time, you being on our radio show, coming to work for us, and you understand now a company by the name of Insperity. What does Insperity mean to you?
What does Insperity mean to me? This is a place where anytime I'm with, business owners, whether it's playing golf, whether it's in meetings at work, anytime they need better HR, payroll, and service, this is exactly where I'm going to send them, Charlie. They're the best in the business. Over is it 25, 30 years, running longer?
Since 1986.
Unbelievable.
They were founded, the company, and it started off as admin staff, but then it turned into Insperity, and it's a company whose mission statement is just second to none. They want small business to be successful so communities can prosper. That's what runs our economy. And you have to have certain laws and regulations that you must abide by, government regulations. Well, a businessman, a lot of times, is really good at selling its property or its products, but sometimes they need help in HR. And the survival of a good company is treating your employees correctly, and that's what HR, human resources, and that's what Insperity is all about. So this spring, if you're in the business of really want to improve your bottom line, give Insperity a call.
Yeah, and also get out to see the Insperity Invitational, where the Legends of Golf will be playing this spring in May at the Woodlands Country Club. Charlie, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, Gary Player, they'll all be back there at the Woodlands, won't they?
Yes, and the Champions Tour players. So
yeah,
it's a
Annika
great
Sorenstam.
event. We're going to have a good time.
Pat Bradley.
That's it. We're going to laugh.
Yeah, Julie Inkster.
Julie,
Legends.
she's a piece of work.
Legends. Let's hear from your leader at the Mexico Open. I want to start with this. Aldrich Pot Jeter, 20-year-old with a 4-shot lead going into the weekend. Let's hear how he's going to manage those scoreboards.
Yeah, I like to look at the scoreboard. Keeps me on top of it, I think. But after that 5 birdies in a row stretch, and hole 10's a really difficult hole into the wind as well, really tight with the water on the right. So I kind of knew I had to just reset and start over after 9, and ended up hitting in the water still. But I was still in the zone enough to keep the par save going and keep the momentum going forward, and just trying to give myself a 10-15 foot putt on every hole and trying to make a birdie.
Charlie, your students, Angel Cabrera, Blaine McAllister, were they scoreboard watchers in the big moment?
Yes. Yeah. They weren't afraid. They wanted to know where they stood. Reality is you can make a decision on a shot knowing if you got a 2-shot lead or if you're 1 shot behind. You've got to be able to analyze the situation. And if you got 3 holes to come and you got to make up a shot, you got to know where you are. And it's just like the basketball coach or the football coach, the players know what the score of the game is, and that really helps. And you got to be confident in your ability to separate nerves at that time. Say, okay, I got to make a good shot here, and that comes from knowing where you are in the game.
So that scoreboard to these players on the PGA Tour, it can alter their game plan mid-round.
Sure can. You got to play percentages, and sometimes you might have 3 or 4 shot lead. Now you got to play conservative, and if you don't know what the scoreboard's telling you, you're in trouble.
Pot Jeter, it's his first 36-hole lead and his 10th start on tour. Yesterday was his career low 18-hole score, that 10 under 61 in the second round. This is, of course, Vedanta that sets up very well for his game. Obviously, he takes full advantage of golf courses that are a little bit easier as far as driving accuracy is concerned. Pot Jeter, averaging 323 yards off the tee this week, which is just incredible. 323 yards off the tee, Charlie.
And that's at sea level.
Yeah.
It's not up there in where you're going skiing.
Yeah.
In the light air.
Or Utah, where the Black Desert Championship was, Charlie. It's not one of Castle Pines for the BMW Championship, not one of those golf courses. But Pot Jeter, he talked a lot about how, this course sets up for his game. Let's hear a little bit more from that, from the South African.
I mean, I love the golf course. It definitely suits my game, I think, in a lot of aspects. If I can keep putting well, I think it should be pretty good. Last year, I had that win early, played pretty good in the start of the year, and then disappeared a little bit. And I don't want to be in that position to be playing for my card on the last event of the year again. So, just trying to put a good result up this week and keep the momentum going forward to the other weeks.
Charlie, you're looking at a video of this guy swing right now. What are you seeing right there?
I just see a guy, he's just hauling off and swinging. He's got a good stance. He got a good turn. He's aggressive, and he's a young kid. He's 19 years old, and he's got it.
The big boy can roll it on the greens.
He can do
Charlie.
it. He can do it.
He just said he's looking for 15 footers all day long. What can the listener at home, that's looking at flag sticks all day? We've got a leader here, 65-61, who's just looking to get his approach shot to about 15 feet from the hole.
Well, they're just people that know, in certain times you got to aim it away from the pin, and having a 20-foot putt is not that bad. Sometimes, you bring that hazard into effect, into play. Stay away from that. Play conservative in when you're trying to play good golf.
Yeah. This is the PGA Tour's they're making this one stop in Mexico before they head to the Florida Swing. You'll have the Cognizant Classic at PGA National next week, and the tour will proceed to Tampa, and all of the you got the players around the corner as well, Charlie. So a lot in front of us as far as the PGA Tour season. As far as what the rest of this weekend looks like, the Mexico Open, Pot Jeter, 4-shot lead. He's got some great chasers. Steven Yeager was a PGA Tour winner last year. Aaron Rai, who is in solo fourth, he won the Wyndham Championship towards the end of last year. And, of course, you got Akshay Bhatia in a tie for fifth. He opened 66-66. So he'll be chasing going into the weekend. I think big news for next week, Charlie's Jordan Spieth he committed to the Cognizant Classic.
And that's the former Honda Classic?
That's the former Honda Classic.
On PGA National?
Yeah. Fourth toughest course on the PGA Tour, Charlie.
Very, very good golf course.
You played there quite a bit?
Yes, I did.
Not easy to hit fairways around that place.
No. There's a lot of water. Like 16 holes have some kind of hazard.
Yeah.
So a stray shot can turn it into a double bogey real quick.
So 38 degrees outside, Charlie. What's the easiest way for those at home to kind of keep improving their game when you can't go outside?
Read your PGA magazine. No, once again, the television, you can record these golf tournaments, and they'll give you a slow motion shot of this kid's swing.
Yeah.
And it's a big swing, and watch it and visualize that, and then go into your garage and try to make a more aggressive swing, and teach the only thing that's going to move the club is the body. You put a club down on the ground and it can't do anything. So once you put it in your hands, it's going to respond to how you turn your torso, your feet, your hands, where your eyes. You got to be in control of your body motions.
The big muscles have to be engaged.
That's it. You got to swing.
Yeah. What do you got going this week, Charlie? You had College Station last week.
Yeah.
STPGA.
No, I'm staying home. I want to get this Michigan weather out of here, and I got to start practicing. I've got some good things I'm working on. I'm going to try to become the best 80-year-old player I know.
You can now from what tees are you playing from now, Charlie?
The up ones.
So every, let's say you take 10 rounds.
Yeah.
How often are you breaking, can you break your age from those up tees?
Well, if I get my routine going like I've had done before, I can still break my age.
That's incredible. That's great. Well, listen, there's not a lot of people that can say it. I mean, you got to be in that 1% there of your age.
1%.
And you said you've got some workouts going.
Oh yeah. There's a company called Power for Success, and they're really into the physical motion of the golf swing and the condition of your body, and they can analyze and they're helping me, and they've given me some exercises to do. So I'm going with I have two things I'm working on at the same time, and so I'm excited about the game. I don't want to go fishing.
Yeah. No, you got to stay around the course, Charlie.
Yeah.
You got to stay around the course. Listen, great work today.
Thank you.
We'll catch up with you at the halfway point of the Cognizant Classic next week. AJ, behind the ones and twos, the best in the game. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you next week. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity.